But our video here on live would be about editing adult photography. Adult photography means dressed photography, semi-nude photography, nude photography, explicit photography, and adult fantasy photo shoots, right? For that, there is a certain names, right? I can name it how photography adult calls in a different way. First of all, there is a portrait photography, then there is a boudoir photography, then there is a nude art photography, glamour photography, right? Explicit photography, penetration shoots photography, right? Fetish photography. There are different kinds of adult photography available in the studios, and my studio covers photo shoots without limitations. Okay, my goal was today to watch at my one of the photo shoots. It is a couple photo shoots which I've created without limitations. Talk about editing, talk about how I am processing the files, what is important for people to know in general, okay, about editing adult photography. So maybe the first thing, what I would say about adult photography is this, that photography, okay, is just one part of the session, right? If you're buying a certain package for adult photography, you will have a preparation time, a consultation time, right? You will have a studio shooting time, right? But then there is a post-production editing time. And that's where most of the adults make a mistake. They think that this editing time costs nothing, or it's very quick and very short, okay? And for some adult photography styles, that's true. If I would be shooting adult portrait photography, right, the lights will be set up. I would know which type of posing I am using. So I'm shooting 10, 20 images, okay, and the lighting and everything is done, posing is done, okay, backgrounds are set up. So the editing process, then it's very easy, okay? And that's how people understand photography, right? When I create adult photography without limitations, we experiment, okay? And I make not 10, not 20 pictures, but 500 to 1,000 and more, okay? Why this is necessary? Because when you're shooting real adult photography, you create a certain emotional connection with your body, which is sensual and sexual and intimate, right? And to get to that point, the best point, you will start from the very low, warming up your body and mind set, right? So you would see on your final images edited that you are stiff, that you are frozen, that you look cold. You do not look sexy straight away unless you are a certain type of personality, or you are professional model, or you are adult model, right? Then the photo shoot is happening very quickly. But I'm talking about very normal people. I'm talking about people who never had a photo shoot in their life, and they would like to explore. They would like to explore their intimate side. They would like to explore sexual fantasies. They would like to explore adult world, try different things for themselves, and it's not happening easy, right? It's not happening easy. And the photographer is not standing there and waiting till the person will get into that confidence zone, intimate zone, sexual zone, when the power, comes out, when it's really turned on, when you are how to say, expressing yourself and escalating that energy. How to create intimate sexual energy? It's very simple. You start touching yourself, okay? There are people who can sit in a place and don't move, okay, and be stiff and be able to present that sexual energy. There are not many of them like this. And like I say, most of the time, these are adult models who have access to their intimate resource, right? They are exchanging their intimate sexual energy, creating something, right? Everything sells in market, right? When we see something sexy, it sells, right? It just, we have one language related to it, right? It's hot. It's hot. So the same with the images in adult business, you see? Normal people coming to have a photo shoot, they take really long time, okay? And that's why I wanted to open this file, so that I could explain you, Okay, first outfit takes maybe 200, 300 shots sometimes. Okay, so when the couple is warming up and going into this relaxed, intimate, okay, sensual, cozy atmosphere, how this couple is starting confused, nervous, what they should do, okay, all excited, okay, but slightly freaking out. This is not an energy that they want to get. You see, everyone is arriving to get great pictures, like final. And they do not realize that they need to shoot 100, 200, 300, 500 to achieve this stage. Okay, there is no skip. There is no jump. Okay, you can't just come and be all cold and nervous and just sit there, and then the next picture is you're the hottest and the sexiest one. Seriously, dream on. It's an illusion. It's like you getting into the car. You never had a license, driving license. If you had no experience before how to drive the car, okay, how you gonna start? Because I know I had driving license. My driving license is 1999. Okay, I know how I started. I hit the trees, you know? I did. Okay, so adults thinking that they would arrive to a photo shoot and photographer has a great camera and a great equipment and he will do it for you. Oh, can you pose it? Can you help for us? Can you do it? Yes, you will get direction and you will get advice, but you will need to go into your intimate energy, not into mine. Okay, so I go and I perform in front of them, like showing how would I do this intimate moment. Okay, sensual picture, glamour picture, boudoir picture. How would I pose myself, right? How would I put my body? What will happen with my face, with my hands, right? And so on. Okay, so that they could copy, because some of them they don't know how to do it, and they need a serious help and direction. And how adults learn, they learn by watching others. Okay, how you learn? By looking pictures. Okay, how you learn adult life? By going on the channels and watching porn. Okay, because no one showed you. There was no examples. The reason why adults do not create great, successful, intimate life, majority of us, right? Because there was no examples around, no one to watch, okay? And I'm not saying this is absolute, okay? That is why I've started adult photography. I have couples who live life together for a really long time and they are on the same vibration. When I'm saying on the same vibration, I mean that we are humans who create energy, right? And through the energy, we contact with ourselves and with our loved ones. And of course, the family surrounding community, right? Through the energy, okay? Intimate energy is the key, okay, to your partner. This is the only way you can know your partner, understand your partner, feel your partner, and of course, trust him. If there is no intimacy, what will happen? Right? People just drift apart. Drift apart. So adult photography, you see, it's not only about hot and sexy pictures. Hot pictures is as a bonus, right? But what you capture in there is your emotion, your feelings, your insecurities, your body language, your mindset, okay, your energy, right? And when you shoot more and more and more, my experience shows that couple are more relaxed, they're creating greater shots, it is always sexier, okay, it is always better the longer you stay, okay? So when I'm looking at couples photography, I've already mentioned, majority of adults stuck on the first set, like on the first outfit for quite a long time, because I am shooting a specific goal. It has to be very hot and it has to be very intimate and it has to be very special. And I wait for that moment till it arrives. Okay? And I wait till it arrives. I am shooting, because if I will be just standing and watching, It's not gonna be a communication between me and the couple. You see, I am shooting constantly, even if it's not there yet, okay? But I'm shooting, shooting, shooting. So when they will receive the artwork and I'm giving all the file, full file, they could see how they progress. They could see how they stand, and then they could see how slowly, slowly they, move into boudoir zone, into sensual mode, right? And express their energy. Because confidence, it's a sexual energy. And when people are scared, adults, confused, lost, shy, feel awkward, it is not a confidence and it is not a sexual energy. Okay? So this is a path that I am as a photographer going through with the adults very often. Very often. I'm not saying that there are no adults who will arrive in the studio and they're very brave and confident. They are aware of their vibration. They are aware, The reason why they are taking these pictures to celebrate who they are, to celebrate how they look, to celebrate what they achieve. They arriving, they know what they're doing. They just need a little guidance, and I am experimenting with them. Okay. Hi, hello. What kind of energy are you? I will be answering the questions that you ask like in 10 minutes. Let me finish this topic because I'm talking about editing adult photography, and I am sending this information for adults that editing takes a lot of time. And I'm explaining why. Okay, because getting into that hot and sexy mode and achieving those greatest, the most passionate shots that they see on Pinterest takes time, not one go. It's not that they would arrive and this is picture. Yes, it is possible to post them straight away in the first 5 minutes, but they never did this. They never been in front of the camera, okay? Photographers don't feel their energy. They just take an empty picture. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's all posed. It's nicely lit. It's beautiful. It's like couple making love and a woman don't feel anything. That's kind of a situation they're having, okay? Just nothing. It's nothing. She's been there. She had intimacy with the guy. She did an orgasm. Nothing. Like nothing. Okay? So that's the thing. That's kind of a boudoir photography happening because I understand. This is a lot of work to work with the people who are turned on, who are on the edge, who are making sounds, who are who are breathing, in a certain way, who are screaming, right? Who are coming. This is a lot to take on, right? I'm not taking any calls from nowhere. There was no arrangements prior. Okay, so no one can join my call. Yeah, I am translating here live solo by myself. And my topic is editing adult photography and explaining that how adult photography has been created. And because I'm creating it in a special way, and in my photo shoot, I do not use a setups. I do not use posing. I am guiding every couple into their natural habitat, into their natural environment. What that means, natural? You cannot shoot everyone in the same way. You just can't. There are different personality types, psychology types, right? There are different sexual types, intimate types. People turn on in the different way. Okay, they're stimulated in a different way. Okay, if you touch someone's nipples and this is not their eros zone, okay, they will not be turned on. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you suggest something, they're not gonna, if the person is not experimental, right, and he just likes a certain environment or certain positions, putting that person into, a different kind of a situation, just freak that person out. It's not gonna be orgasmic, So understanding this, it's a different knowledge. It's not a photography, okay? It's not a photography only, right? Photography is on point. It has to be on point anyway if you want to learn adult business, right? But there is other things that come with, with the knowledge and with the experience and with working in adult business. You see, there are photographers who would tell me what kind of the cameras they have and great equipment, they're working with. Great. This equipment doesn't come with the knowledge how to shoot the sexiest and the hottest images and videos without limitation. There is no information about this on the camera, right? Just the camera settings. So when adults photographers shooting adult business, everyone is working from their own perspective, okay? Perspective. And everyone is allowing to shoot certain content, of course, on their experience. My experience is very broad, okay? So I allow to shoot any kind of sessions without no limitation, okay? No limitation. And so talking about no limitation fantasy shoots, very often adults would like to experiment and push their boundaries, push their limits, okay? And I allow them to create adult fantasy sessions. I arrange that. And also I book models for them if they need help creating that fantasy, right? There are fantasies like a threesome fantasy. It is not possible to create if you do not have a model. It's not possible. How you a couple will come and create this fantasy if there is no other third person on set, right? And very often couples, you see, they rely on studio because it's not easy to find an adult model. It's easy to find an adult model. It's not easy to find an adult model who will go on the camera and on film with them. That's the thing, okay? So today's topic is editing adult photography, and I am talking today about post-production, and I am taking a break because I can see that a lot of people interested ask me questions about this topic, about adult photography, photos and videos, adult fantasies. This is all what I can answer to you and even more, okay? Saying hello now, I am so sorry, but I will take this time because otherwise they would think that this is all recorded. This is not. Okay, beautiful, me too, you too, okay. A discussion about adult photography, yes. Editing process, yes. Hello, beautiful from Miami, Florida. Miami, Florida. You are so gorgeous. Okay, what is this? I don't speak this language. It's not English. I'm not gonna read it out. I don't think I will be correct spelling. What kind of energy are you? What kind of energy? Creative. Everyone has a creative energy. You don't need to ask it. Okay. You've been created through created energy. There is only one gate how to enter this planet. Okay. There is no other way. You can't be, found in a cabbage field. Okay. There is only one energy, intimate energy. I don't want to use this word too often. Okay. Intimate energy. You understand this, right? I am being careful about using my vocabulary in terms of adult photography, right? So we are entering this planet only by one action, right? Intimate action between two people, and that energy, what is being used to create your conscious and subconscious mind, and of course to create your suit, the body that you work in, right? We use all the time, okay? And that is the energy that I use when I'm shooting my adults, when I'm talking now to you, okay? And in general, adults use it for many purposes to create anything, okay? If you are at work, wearing your fancy suit or whatever, and you are talking about your topic, right? And you are in your element, and everyone is thinking, wow, you are so hot. That's the energy that you use. Very often men use that energy for everything else, cars, horses, I don't know, gambling and so on, and do not leave any for the woman. Okay. And then come back drained, right? Come back drained. So that's the thing. So we use that energy, and that energy now at this bunny world, and world is changing, will be used a lot. Okay, that's how we will develop. We are not changing physically anymore. Okay, we have been developed enough, right? But we are changing emotionally. Okay, we are changing psychologically, mentally. Okay, mentally, and that's why I'm talking about this topic now, because that's what you need to understand, right? To learn. There is more resource that you will think, okay? And that is where you will get this resource. There are many topics when I say that sexual energy is adult energy resource. It's the most powerful and the most transformative energy that you can get, right? And that's what we talk about. Right on, right on. Guten Morgen. Okay, Guten Morgen. I really like classy. Coffee chairs. Pretty face. Okay, okay. Nice outfit. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, greetings from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, you know, there is Puerto Rico in Spain as well, you know, on Gran Canaria. Gran Canaria, but you are in US. I know that. Okay. Next messages. Okay. What do you recommend for someone who feels shame about their sexual fantasies and desires? Shame, guilt. Yes. You see, you start from a very beginning. Okay, very beginning. When you was a baby, okay, you never thought that there is something wrong with you. Okay, you never been ashamed. You've been naked and dressed, and you would not feel any guilt or shame. But then your parents came, okay? Your parents came and they start limiting you, saying like, oh, don't show this, don't touch yourself, don't do this is bad, this is on, this is this, right? That's why we all have issues on that end, okay? And that is one of the development process, evolution, okay? We need to overcome that coding that someone else put on us and go back to your factory settings. You understand my language? I don't know how to explain to you more, okay? This is not you. You don't have any shame or you don't have any guilt, but you was forced to experience this because that's how they manipulate. Yeah? You trust adults. When you grow up and you are a child, you have a very innocent and a need for someone to take care of you, okay? And you trust these people. They are your parents, okay? And they've been brought up as well, you know? I'm not blaming here anyone. I am just saying they've been brought up and coded in that way, and that's what they did. They passed that code to you, okay? That they pass that code to you. There is a very now you don't need to go into long therapy. There is a very easy way how you can process this information. You use selfies. Of course, people usually need to have a professional help and someone's understanding to bring them back to the right path. Okay, so subscribe to my channel. I'll wash your brain and you will stop being this way, because the way you change, okay, if you change your energy, you see, shyness and embarrassment that you have is a negative energy, and you automatically vibrate in a negative energy. And our brain is actually wired to catch a negative vibration and stay in that energy for a really long time, up to 2 hours. Okay, if we are on the positive vibe, it stays up to 5 minutes. It's very short period. Okay, it's past. The happiness very quickly passed. That's why we have to practice this. Practice every day and learn. Okay, so congratulations. Thank you for saying this, right? Because this is your step to get out. That is why you find this video, because I can answer that question. Okay? You cannot vibrate and be in your element if you feel shy and guilty about yourself. You cannot achieve much. being on that energy, you know, and transforming yourself. Okay, transforming yourself will actually put you on the path where you belong. What you should do, you will understand more about your life. You will trust yourself. You will be more confident about yourself. You will start different action towards different people. You will start new projects. You will do many things differently. And your life vibration, energy, okay, the sense of your life flavors will be different. And when I say flavors, I can tell you this. Look at the couples, adults who have great intimacy and great connection. You could see on their faces, okay, that they've tried a very tasty apple, I don't know, tried a very tasty thing, right? And you could see who do not have this life power, they eat the lemon, okay? Eat the lemon. Contraceptive face. Yeah? Do you see woman with the contraceptive face? I am joking here. Okay, next. Very nice. Turning me on stop. Both women and men use that same energy. Correct. We are the same species. We are the same species, but we vibrate in a different way. Okay, it's like very is very fast and need a lot of new things, okay, and the other is really slow. Okay, so it's like the quality of the signal is different, you know. Someone do not have that much juice in their signal. Do I explain correctly? You understand what I'm saying? So yes, we use the same energy, but like I say, people, you know, they are so different because of the way who they are, how they came to this planet, what they came to do, how many blocks they collected through the world, through the time living on this world, right? Who they met, okay, and so on and so on. It's all about your progress, okay? And of course, they can block your vibration, you know, they can block your vibration. These old people who will be talking negatively about you, right? Who will be disrespecting you, or maybe shouting you, or maybe hitting you, right? When you are a child. That's where the suspension happens, and that's where it leads to gay. No, actually, gay was born this way. To transgenders. That's where it leads to fetish. That's where it leads to catfish. That's where it leads to BDSM, bondage, any kind of suspension, any kind of forced fantasies, and so on. Right? That's what indicates who you become. But you was born normal. You was born normal. Okay. You on here tonight? I can stop looking at you, but you charge my phone. Okay. Thank you so much for this charging your phone. You know, if it's charging, then it's good. Okay. It's hard. What's thinking, but I'm not ashamed. It's hard. What's thinking, but I'm not ashamed. Good. Good. If you're not ashamed, that's good. Buenos dias, Julia. How are you doing? I am live right now. I'm trying very quickly to cover this topic. Thank you so much for asking these questions, interacting, sending me messages. Let me just quickly finish with kinky editing stuff, okay? And I would just talk about this normal classic boudoir photo shoots, right? Editing and kinky stuff editing. So not everyone wants to go into fantasies, and not everyone wants to go and dress explicit or penetration shoots, right? But that's a very, how to say, popular topic now, right? If the person or a couple is conservative, they would choose something classic, something, you know, which is not that much provoking and revealing, which is fine, right? Which is fine. I will still capture their energy and I would lead them. It's just the progress will be not that visible, you know, in terms of here they're standing in a portrait, and here they are, you know, legs open, you know, touching themselves and so on. It's not going to be that kind of a, you know, path. But not everyone is brave enough to start straight away and deliver, and go through the whole adult photography options. Okay, not everyone, but that's what I call classic. Majority of people doing that, majority of photographers shooting that, right? And so it's classic, and I calculate it as a standard shoot. Okay, when I talk about models, they are also classic models to hire, right? Classic normal dating experience. Okay, no, seriously. Dating experience, what that means? It involves some connection, and it involves communication, and it involves dating escort services, right? And then it starts, okay? And there it starts. And you know what kind of extras in adult business, okay? There is a water sport, there is a level, there is, how to say, different adding on fetish fantasies, right? And so on. So not every model who does a classic escort does these services. Okay, why I'm starting about the models, because you would understand how I read the. Please do not ask me to join my channel. I am just declining all the calls. Okay, and you are interrupting me. Okay, so classic boudoir photography. People who want classic boudoir photography, they would book classic standard shoot, because that's something what they want, and I do not have a problem with them at all. Okay, someone, no, declining. Okay, and so where I have a problem is when kinky, fetish, broken, sensually, sexually want to experiment more than classic and have a lot of extra sessions, okay, in mind, and extra services, okay, that sometimes, I'm thinking that's like seriously full on, just like seriously full on. If I would open a corn channel, probably I would shoot, the full, portfolio there, in there. That's how they want to operate. The problem with these clients is that they think that they're normal. Okay, they think that they're normal, the torture is normal, the bondage is normal, the other stuff what they want to do for each other, it's normal. It's not. The problem is that they want to be priced like normal couple. Okay, that's the only problem I see. And very often they're so shy and embarrassed, some of them, that they reveal their fantasies. And eventually, when we discuss the details for the photo shoot, I've realized that, excuse me, this is far from like a normal photo shoot. The things what they want to do in the studio, and I need to watch this, and I need to film this, and then I need to edit this for a week or so, and looking at this content, this is not for free. It's not for free. It's like when the lady booking a male model. Okay, we decided with husband that he will be just nude, assisting me with the posing and just having an erection. Okay, and then I discussed this with the model. The model agrees, arrives for this shoot. 20 minutes later, she's coming on and saying, you know what, I like him so much. I want him to do some fetish, dominate me, and I want to be, on the ninth cloud, and I want this and this, you know, and that was not included in the price. And the model is not aware. And all these services, intimacy and stuff, on the top of that is extras. Okay, so that is why I am making this video, because people who want all these type of fantasies, they think that they will book a small, standard shoot, and then they can load it up, and no one will charge them for this. Okay, no one will charge them for this. It's like, you see, there is a catfish who you find on a dating site. Men find the catfish on a dating site, and the catfish is a man who is pretending that she is a woman. Okay, it's a woman, right? And then trying, to communicate with this man on the dating app and explaining how dirty she is and what kind of the fantasies, loading with this information a certain guy. And I understand why the men are scared of the catfish, because it's just overloading, right? So I meet a lot of that. because I'm in adult business and they think that they can come to my way and then I would listen to all their dirtiest fantasies for free, you know, for free. Just will take my time and they would just unload, right? So that's the thing. So editing process, it's time consuming. Okay, and when you're shooting a standard shoot, you dedicate that much time. When you're shooting not standard shoot, you actually shooting more variations. Non-standard shoot is a premium service. And when I'm shooting premium and I'm shooting kinky stuff, you understand I can't shoot just the portrait mode, that kinky fetish stuff, because they do want moody things. They want to look like it's in a dungeon. They want a special lighting. They want a special background. They want a special posing. It's just all different. It can't be like a standard shoot, you know? And editing as well. This session has to be priced accordingly. It's not like a free situation. So the most of the time, what people do is they calculate how long is the photo shoot, okay? And so they look at the price and they think, okay, the photo shoot is 2 hours, okay? And they do not see it, that then the photographer have to sit 5 days, okay, 5 days, 40 hours, and edit their content so that they will deliver full the highlights, okay, then upload and have a private gallery view, then edit to high-end certain collection, right, then deliver it in a color and black and white. When you speak about post-production and editing, I can tell you how the clients say, take as long as you need. Like seriously, we are not in rush, just give it all what you can, you know? Just edit all the pictures or choose for us the best collection. That is another thing, okay? So they shoot a lot of pictures, okay? Like 1,000. My shoot is like wedding shoots, okay? It's the same because it's complicated, right? It's a special event for people who never done before and everyone is nervous. Okay, it's not like a portrait shoot. People undressing, touching themselves, okay? Like seriously, playing with themselves, exposing themselves, okay? And it's nerve-wracking. So how many pictures I need to shoot? A lot to create a great collection, right? And so that's what happens, okay? There are a lot of shots out there and people do not understand that even to create the best collection and choose for them takes even more time. So my approach is this. I give all the highlights, okay? And today I'm making a video and I'm telling everyone that I will give all the highlights without color. If I remove the color, it's much easier for me to see the best images because the color is not interfering, it's black and white. This is how I learned photography, in black and white, okay? Seriously, before, do you remember? There was no color. We watched TVs in black and white, and we had film, which is black and white. Then the color came, okay? So I think that going back to a very, very beginning and just removing the color and seeing the artistic side and the composition, right? And the performance and the energy from there can lead to a better selection and the easier choice. Okay, because sometimes couples take days to select their best pictures, days, you know, and I know why. Because this is the same with me. How do I, you know, and when the portrait you're shooting, right? The person blinks, file removed, right? The person is not smiling, file removed, right? The person is doing something awkward with their hands or so on, file removed. When I'm shooting adult photography, okay, seriously, this is not the case, right? Because the body's movements are different. The hand in here, the hand in there, the hand in there, the hand in there. Okay, there are so many repetitions till you go into that perfect shot that you think which one it will be the preference for the client, because my knowledge of the photography, I learned this, you know, professionally, is different than people just drawn by the impulse. They selecting through the energy, oh, they remember this is association with something. They choose totally different pictures. Through those years, I did experiments. Okay, I would choose my best collection and I will ask the couple or individual to choose their collection. And there is just 30% match between me and the client. Okay, so I did this. I did this analysis. I don't need to go and guess which one they think. Seriously, they will choose the images I would never think of, or I would delete it straight away. You know? I would think, why the hell they choosing this? You know, but there is some kind of a connection there. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what they remember when they were shooting that moment. Okay, there was some feeling behind it, some memory, some kind of a situation that I am not aware of. When they get all the artwork from my file, they are able very instantly to go back to that moment, to feel themselves again, okay, to remember how they, how they did it and so on. That's how closely it's connected, through the energy. Even from 20 years past, you will go back to the same file, and if it's captured in the right way, you will remember everything. That is why we cherish wedding photography, baby photography, right? It's emotional. It's emotional. It connected with the energy. And that's what I am doing at my studio. Okay? Right. You are gorgeous. I am going back to you are a very pretty woman. Hello from Houston. Hello from Houston. Okay, Houston. I am done with this editing. I am already tired. So I'll just go and have my tea because I am thirsty talking to you. Today's topic was about editing adult photography, explaining adults who have kinky fantasies, dirty fantasies, and they feel that it is normal, okay? Right? For many people, it would not be normal and it is not priced as a normal shoot. That's my message, okay? When people want to experiment and push the boundaries, and there are many of them like this, they are most of the time successful people, because they push their boundaries naturally in their life, okay? And there are shy and how to say, and ashamed people, right? They live a totally different life on this planet. Okay, so the ones which want to experiment even more for themselves, this is all premium. This is all premium. In post-production, in shooting, this is all premium. Okay? And the ones who shoot standard shoots, okay, they also need to be aware that the post-production, it's time-consuming. Okay? It doesn't happen instantly. And you create artwork. And when it's artwork, you can't just select the bulk file and edit. It's not gonna happen. Because I'm changing the settings all the time. I'm changing the lighting. I'm changing the background. I'm changing. There are too many changes. I have to do it manually. Okay? And I'm going to price for it. And the package, what they choose, reflects a post-production level. That's it. That's it. It's not gonna be like, oh, Julia, take how long you want. You just deliver these images or videos. If you have not paid for post-production, you will not get edited content. You will get raw files, and that's what you will do. You will edit yourself. Okay? There are people who are very good at that. Okay? There are couples who would say, my husband is an editor. Then that's fine. Okay, great. I can remove this pricing and adjust it, right? Tailor the package, right? If you go somewhere on Fiverr or like a freelancer, right? If you go somewhere, you will see how much they will price you for adult content edited. You will be surprised, okay? You will be so much surprised that then you will change your mind about the package, okay? So that is why I'm making a video. Go and Google. Just seriously, go and Google how much it costs to create 3 minutes video, adult content, right? And you will see the price. Just this simple information, okay? Simple information for everyone, right? You are gorgeous. Thank you for the compliments. I can literally listen to you insult me all day. Someone was insulting you. You know why you can listen? Because when you was a child, it was painful for you. And the child have to cope with this situation. So he creates endorphins. These are hormones, opiates, okay? Not to hear this insult and not to get this pain. Usually these people have hearing analyzer activated, okay? Hearing analyzer, 5% of people, geniuses, okay? These are autistic people, okay? These are autistic people who were not able to cope, okay? They usually have a noisy parent, okay? Noisy parent or doing this. This is not the way they born. Okay, hope all is well with you, your family. Hope is well with me and my family. Thank you so much for saying this. Okay, thanks for sharing with us this morning. You're welcome. Your accent is so incredibly smoothing. You like people from Lithuania then? Lithuania, I'm from Lithuania. That's where the accent comes from. You're welcome. Okay. It was nice chatting to you. Okay, I will come more because I have so many topics to cover. And what topics I'm planning to cover are very straightforward. Okay, today I spoke about editing adult content. I have probably a list which I'm going to complete. It's a men photo shoot, woman photo shoots, couples photo shoots, model photo shoots, fantasy photo shoots, right? Adult video photo shoots, gift and anniversaries, right? When they book a photo shoot to create something special, right? And of course, the last topic, which will be the topic that I will kick into, okay, it's courses online. You know, I have created Eros channel on Telegram, okay, and I've started it, and I am inviting everyone. I have some messages under my post that has a link message screenshot. It's Love Warriors, okay, and I'm inviting everyone because from there I can be translating, okay, translating, and do not select the words and the language that I use on social media. I will be really open, okay, and of course I would have in my background, okay, my adult work, and it is allowed on a private channel. You can have a private channel on Telegram. Of course it will be paid with subscription, you know, and then we can see the artwork which is relates to all the adult work situations. Okay, well that's that's the doggy. Okay, nice, nice. I haven't seen this feature. Okay, so I am inviting you to join my Telegram channel and bear there because I am now almost 300 people. I wanna go to 1,000. And when I have 1,000, then I will start translating there, you know. I'm not going to be there on social media because I need to be careful with the wording. It's just a headache. I cannot name the things like they really are supposed to named, right? And so on. So that's the thing. Okay, invitation done. Love you, kiss you, mean it, and see you next time. I hope I will have some announcement for my next live, but I think I will be just shooting every day now. You know, every day, like I said, there will be preference in the topics. If you have any questions and you think that it will be a very good topic to cover, write me a message. Julia, what about this? Or I want to know about this. Or tell me about this. And I will create a separate live just for one reason. If we are in one field, right, and you have a certain question, and I've answered today certain questions, these people are related to it. Okay, they just related to it. So if you ask a certain question, it will be useful for majority of us, I can tell you. For many people, it will be useful. So don't be shy. You can text me privately. I do not reply, but I will read your messages. Okay, and if that's a good topic and valuable information I can share, of course, I will do that. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye bye. Ciao. Bye.